Conversation with Atlantean Children of the Law of One. Part 5. The Purpose of Evolution Understanding Adamus. Question. What were the fundamental differences between you and the native inhabitants of this realm at the time of your arrival? Answer. The primary distinction lay in our source of existence. The inhabitants of this realm were evolving, or, you could say, developing souls, while we had already evolved into a pure state of consciousness. However, we experienced a decline. Their source of creation differed from ours. As we've previously discussed, it's possible to attain oneness through meditation, but there are varying levels of oneness. These levels serve as the sources of life, each unique in its own way, yet all subject to the overarching influence of the prime source. To illustrate, consider a toddler. A toddler isn't equipped to handle social responsibilities. Instead, their guardians or parents must nurture and represent them in dealings with the government. Similarly, while your consciousness is still in the process of evolution, you remain under the guidance of earthly consciousness. To transcend this realm, the budding consciousness must unite with the consciousness of Earth. When we use the term, evolving souls, it implies that evolution became necessary as a result of the banishment and the collapse of the paradise. In paradisiacal states, there's no concept of evolution, as perfection is the norm. Once a being deviates from this state, their journey begins towards ascending back to that harmonious state of existence. Many assume that we reached a high technological state before our fall. In truth, we were steadily descending from a higher spiritual state. We transitioned from pure consciousness to semi-biological beings with supernatural abilities. Gradually, we lost these abilities and compensated for our state of being with technological tools, even descending further to coexist with the biological beings of this realm. The Law of One was intended to guide us back to our original forms. However, we now realize that it was the will of the Almighty Creator that led us to decline, merge with the ascending Adamus, elevate them, and ascend together. Our fall was not accidental. It held a profound collective lesson that enabled us to continue growing toward higher states of existence. Question. You mentioned the children of the earth, the Adamus. It appears they had their own supernatural abilities before their banishment. Can you elaborate on these abilities? Answer. By the time we arrived in this realm, it was challenging to communicate with the Adamus due to our differing vibrational frequencies. It was only later that we gained access to their biological information to understand their origins. Yes, they possessed abilities, although they might not align with the fantastical powers you might imagine. Instead, their abilities were harmonious and natural, and they never infringed upon the will of other creatures. In contrast, we could impose our will on other beings without considering the consequences. When we refer to the Adamus or children of the soil, it might be challenging for many to visualize or understand their existence. There's a tendency to conjure mental images of primitive people living in the jungle, but this is not an accurate portrayal. They were inhabitants of great reign and glory. Their abilities encompassed not only communication with all life but also a profound union with all life. In their state of existence, the inner life of one individual was intricately connected to all aspects within their realm, and ignorance had no place. Therefore, a blade of grass in their state represented all things in existence. The concept of separateness was absent, yet individuality and selfhood coexisted. At that time, there were 5 races, distinct from the human race, but humanoid in nature, each with its unique associations and unions. Today, many people encounter accounts of extraterrestrial races such as bird humanoids, insectoids, reptilians, and more. These descriptions correspond to the 5 races that once lived in harmony. This existence is so far removed in time from the present reality that you are essentially their remnants. While you may not consciously remember, this knowledge lies deep within your DNA and the cosmic memory.